It isn't in my blood. Sorry, I can't get it out of my head. Welcome to another KiddNation Extra. I'm JC. That is Kelly. That is Big Al.
Hey.
And that is Jenna.
Duh.
Yeah, Jenna is having the troubles with the guy. Duh.
How do you write just duh?
This is a follow-up. We did talk about this earlier because
This is why I can't date someone young.
Jenna needs to understand guys.
I don't understand why you don't ask me out when we've been going out. Why I have to do it.
And as a guy, I don't have an answer for that. Big Al's a guy as well, and he didn't have an answer
I don't
either.
have an answer either.
Yeah, we
If
just
a man asks someone out.
Yeah.
I do. I have a problem
Take
with that.
charge, man.
That's what we're supposed to do, but a lot of the times something happens in our brain and short circuits, and then we don't act properly, and we don't know how to talk to you correctly, and then we just wait for you to do the thing.
'Cause we just don't. We revert back to our childhood when we ask you something. I like you. Do you like me? And you said no.
Oh.
And then we'll just get all that whole rejection thing just kind of comes back.
Yeah.
The wussification of men.
Yes.
I'm
And
not
whose
even
fault is that?
Us.
Y'all. No, it's their fault.
It's the women.
Women's
Oh,
fault.
good.
Why
See,
is it my
Women's
fault?
fault.
I
I've been
remember
pre-
all of us men.
I'm just telling you, it's just been happening. It's just men aren't allowed to be men anymore.
Here's the thing. A lot of guys, from what I gathered and read about, because I did a little research for you, Jenna, a lot of guys are really scared because of the movement that is going on right now that we're going to look like creepers or that we're going to be...
And women are just rude to if you're not interested in a man and he asks you out, they feel like they have to berate them and
Right.
humiliate them.
Right.
And it's a real risk for a man to walk up to a stranger in a bar and say something.
Because we feel that if you're not attracted to us, it's going to be considered harassment.
Right.
Because when you are attracted to us, you reciprocate that and you welcome us and you talk to us. But if you don't, we feel like we're creepers and that we're not welcome. And I think that's what scares a lot of guys away. From what I was reading guys talking about.
Yeah, they're not as bold as they once were.
No, we're not as bold. We don't claim our ladies like we used to.
All right, great.
No.
I'm really. This is awesome.
Which is why I was afraid to ask Elise or Elise, the girl that I met yesterday, for any personal info like phone number or meet
You're
me
just
here.
so extremely rusty, and it's sad.
I guess that is it.
It's sad watching
is
you
it,
try to
Kelly.
get back out there.
So,
You've lost your touch.
I met this girl. She was walking her dog yesterday on the trail, and we had a brief conversation.
Uh-huh.
And, I said, bye. And she walked on her way, and I'm like kicking myself. Why didn't I get any information? So we didn't get a sketch artist to come in today. But if you've seen this girl with that dog,
Well, I hope they can.
What
zoom
boobs
in
are
on
those,
this and
dude?
Give Nick
Hold
a
on.
warning.
if you've seen that girl, oh,
This
Like
girl.
a wiener dog?
well, it's a golden doodle
That
actually.
looks like a wiener dog.
What size boobs are those?
Her pants are low.
Yeah, she's wearing. I thought she was wearing yoga pants.
She was. So it was not a 100% accurate
Of course.
account of what she looks like,
Yeah.
but as you can tell, she had hair. Her hair was up.
Uh-huh.
She was walking
High
her
pony.
dog.
Have you seen that woman, please? Because we had a one near hit with a KiddNation member that sent us a
I
girl.
bet it was her.
It might have been.
I think our listener figured it out.
We need to reach out to her and see if she did speak to a black dude with a golden doodle
Yeah.
on the trail yesterday.
So there you have it. But to your point, we just get scared.
Yeah.
You weren't scared. You just didn't think.
Or you don't
You
think.
didn't think about it.
No, we blank out. We just
But what is it that makes us not think about it for that whole little time? But the minute you separate and go your separate ways, you think about it. Like, dang it.
because you had that attraction towards her. That you had real legit physical attraction to this girl that's the first step you need.
Mentally, I just am not dealing with it anymore, really. Like, I'm done. I dealt so long with someone that was such an idiot that now I'm like, I just have no tolerance for it.
Yeah.
Duh.
These messages, I just want to bang my head against the wall. That's
Right.
what I'm going to go home and do today.
It's okay. You'll find one.
All right.
Maybe they'll learn. Maybe you could train them.
Can you FaceTime that or Instagram it live? Do a live when you're banging your head
Banging my
against?
head against the wall?
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, until
Go-
I pass out.
Get a lot of
views.
Get the views going.
Yeah.
Why not? Speaking of creeping on people, by the way, found out this morning one of the best ways to find someone's profile, especially Facebook, is to put their phone number. If you manage to get their phone number, 'cause a lot of times we'll just get a phone number and that's all we know, just first name, phone number.
Yeah.
You were able to search them on Facebook, and their profile would pop up. And then that way you could do a little more digging and see who they're friends with and what they're into, and that could help you with your date. And
No mas.
apparently Facebook got rid of that.
Oh,
That's
Why?
one of those things that Zuckerberg had to give up when he went to court yesterday.
Yeah.
That's how a lot of dudes were getting caught cheating, though, because they didn't know about that. So
And
I
now
guess they're
it's
helping.
gone.
Now they're helping those guys.
You can still do background checks. You just have to spend money.
Yeah,
And girls, you do that after you go on a date with someone. Do that. It can come in handy.
it helped Jenna quite a bit.
23 pages of help.
Wow.
I think they have to give you a reason to do a background check.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because
No,
Jenna
there has to be a flag of some sort.
was there a flag?
I wouldn't do background checks on just everybody.
There's
Okay.
a huge flag.
There was a flag. Okay,
Yeah.
so you took it.
Huge
there's a flag,
in
do
the
it.
Conversation. Yeah.
Well, if you met Al, pretend you don't know Al. Do you think there's a flag where you would?
Totally.
Okay, good.
Background check material.
So
over
he's
there.
background check. Would I be background check material?
Oh, yeah.
No, but now that I've learned that people have such sordid pasts, it makes me curious.
Yeah.
But only if your behavior was a little off. Like if I liked you, but I felt like there might be something weird, then I
Yeah.
would do it.
And you'd be so difficult to find. Jose Chavez.
Yeah, I took-
Background check, please.
I did have to do a criminal background check for my son's flag football league.
Yeah.
And I came back with all these charges from Florida
Yeah,
and some
yeah.
other in New Mexico, and there's some in Arizona. It's just dudes with my name who happen to have my birthday as well.
Speaking of this, and we did not speak on this today, they're starting a kiddie Uber. Did you see this?
No, what is that?
It's just what it's. I mean, it's Uber for your kids. You can call and have these
We
people.
talked
Years
about,
ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
They started it in California. They were testing
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I just saw it on the news yesterday, and they were talking about would you have a total stranger pick up your kid,
Nope.
even with background check?
Nope.
I don't think.
It's a big quandary for
Yeah.
parents who have more than one child and they're all in sports because all the practices and all the games
too much.
are
At the same
scheduled
time.
at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
It's just so
And there's
scary.
only so many people you can ask, and it's like a big game of chess trying to get everybody where they need to be.
Right. And
And
you're
so I
gonna
can see where there is a need for something like that. Would I trust?
Well, our moms did it.
stranger.
You could do the
I mean,
carpool
you
with the
trust
team.
a stranger to drive your kid on a bus to school. I mean,
That's
there's
true.
there's background checks there.
Yeah.
There's more than one kid. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that a school bus has 30 to 40 kids in it, so you know that there's going to safety in numbers. But when it's just a random dude showing up, I mean, you've seen what's happening
Yeah.
with ladies.
I know that's a tough one. That's a real
Yeah.
tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be cool with that. I barely feel cool with my family members that I know driving my kids around, you know, let alone a stranger, a complete stranger. Interesting. I could see where it could
Yeah,
come in handy
for
though if
sure.
you're in a bind.
Yeah.
It's time for the question of the day, Kid Nation, and this
All
Kid
right.
Nation Extra. You can be the question of the day if you throw it down there in the comment section today. Hopefully we'll read it tomorrow, but today's question is from Gabriela.
Hey, Gabriela.
She says, shout out, JC. Shout out, Gabriela. She wants to know, what is the best date we have all been on? Best date we have all been on.
Well, I'll take my proposal date out of it.
Okay. Yeah, because that was pretty bad.
That was really cool. So I will, and I've said it before. It's that helicopter date I went on.
Oh.
The guy was getting his helicopter's license, and he was a few hours shy of done. So I mean, he'd already flown hundreds of hours or however many it is. So I felt safe in that.
Right.
He was less than a dozen hours away from completing it or whatever. But they have to buy their time to go flying. So he took me out to the airport, one of these little ones, and we got in the helicopter and we hovered above the ground, which was the coolest sensation. I mean, that feeling of first hovering.
Yeah.
And then we took off, and he's running parallel to the ground, and you're just like speeding over the ground. It's like every flying dream I've ever had, where you just pick up your legs and fly. And then he took me over the city of Dallas, and we flew as the sun set, and then we ended up flying over the city at night. And then he brought me back and took me to dinner. That was just the coolest date. Now, it didn't work out,
No, it didn't.
but I mean, that was just a
Great
great date. How many times?
It's like a Bachelor
Come on.
episode. Yeah.
Except he was the pilot.
Yeah, he
and it
was
had all
doing
the
it.
headsets, and you're talking to the headsets, and you can hear yourself breathing. It's
Yeah.
just the neatest
Yeah.
experience.
I got you.
But my husband, of course, and
Yeah.
our engagement,
Of course.
was the best day.
What about you, Big Al?
I guess the one that comes to my mind is when experiences, just like what Kelly was talking about. We went. I took my girlfriend on a date on a sailboat, and it was a few friends, but it was still a date for her. It was her birthday, and we went out to a lake and took this old wooden sailboat that had a lunch, cheeses, and wines and whatnot, all ready for us and laid out. The weather was perfect. I actually planned it, and it came off without a huge mistake. But it was actually a real cool date. It was about 4 or 5 hours. It was a long date, but it was really cool. Just one evening, just out on the lake, me and 3 couples and my girlfriend, and just out, hanging out, celebrating her birthday. What about you?
Well, there's so many because I've been with my wife for so long, but
Yeah.
it's not. I guess our first date when we went to Taco Bell. I don't know what it is about it, but I had so much fun that day.
Yeah.
And I remember having like $5 and thinking to myself, how am I going to take this girl out? And when I finally broke it down to her and said, hey, why don't we just go grab some Taco Bell? And the way her face lit up, like she was excited to go there. And we shut that place down. I mean, we were there from like 6 p.m. till about 10 p.m. just talking, getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. So that Taco Bell date is probably one of my favorite dates of all time.
Do y'all celebrate the anniversary? Because I know y'all celebrate the anniversary of everything.
Of that, no. No, not that one.
Okay.
And also another date that I remember was a date I went on with Kid Craddock. He took me to see Barry Manilow, who's his favorite artist of all time.
Yeah.
And it was my first time actually sitting in the front row at a concert. And we got to go backstage and talk to him, and he called
Barry
me.
kind of flirted with you a little bit.
Yeah, he called me sweet young thing.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I was like, okay now.
Yeah.
So that's pretty fun. It was my first time sitting on the front row at
Who
a
knew you
concert.
were Barry's type?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know he was into Latin boys, but hey, come on.
So, I guess so.
What about you, Jenna?
I mean, my best date was probably with my least favorite person.
Oh, really?
Like going to Iceland. That was so cool. It was a second date. And I mean, I bought my own plane ticket, and he bought something
Yeah.
when we were there. So it was technically kind of a date. I considered it a date, but he ended up being kind of crazy. But that was pretty cool. I like experiences, though. I like workout.
Yeah.
I like simple things, like going to a workout class.
100%.
That's been my favorite, and that's what I tend to do more of lately because that's most reflective of me. Like, I want someone that is like on a Saturday morning we go box or do a workout
Yeah.
together or something because that's what I do anyway. But yeah,
All
that's
right.
it. Something
Or a little
active.
trip.
I like golfing. Yeah, I like an active date
Yeah.
where you get to hang out.
Oh, yeah, I
not
took-
on your phone.
My first time I took Kinsey on a trip, too, was a pretty good day. I took her to New York. It was my first time going.
Mm-hmm.
And I used all my savings that I had.
Yeah.
But she really wanted to go, so I surprised her, and we went to New York.
There you go.
It was the coldest time I was there. I got frostbite on my legs. I had holes in my
gosh.
jeans.
Last time we were in New York, it was so
So
stinking
cold. I don't know how they do it. Like, how do they live there? It's
And the buildings are so tall that sunlight doesn't hit some streets ever.
ever.
Yeah.
And the wind
The
gets
wind going through
trapped.
there, oh.
Oh my gosh, it was so
Try
brutal.
living in Chicago. It's even
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah, right?
Right.
It didn't probably pop into my mind because that trip was so
It was this
rough.
past year, right? When remember the New Year's Eve, and they didn't know how the people were going to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
New Year's
Snowcopalypse.
We left like the day before New Year's Eve, and people were out there just like, oh my gosh, they were like warning everybody about frostbite. It was horrible.
So cold. But
We love New York.
Yeah, we love you, New York. Just when you're warmer than that. But we'll be back tomorrow morning. We got the love expert, Kelly Raspberry, with Love Letters to Kelly coming up tomorrow. We also got Beat the Bank, 2 shots for you to win up to $1,000.
Whatever Wednesday.
And whatever Wednesday. So whatever you want to talk about, Kid Nation, we're down for that. We'll see you then.